Well, now, this is that video that if you have something that is distracting you on the side, just switch everything off except this video and stay put. Just listen to what I'm about to share this. Guess what? This was the information that was shared to me by my mentor. Took a little bit of longer period of time to understand. But when I understood that particular information, it was a game changer. Today's video is about that money is not real. Yeah, I know, of course, by virtue of me saying that, you'd be like, what do you even mean by that particular point? So stay put, watch this video to the end, and don't forget, by the way, this is kind of the videos that I make on this YouTube channel, where I come and debunk some things, we unlearn to relearn some things, so that at least we can propel ourselves toward attainment of the financial freedom. Remember one thing, the enemy is poverty, and we have to kill it by all means. This information was never shared to us when we went to university. Even if you're a professor, doctor, whatever you are, the point is financial information was never shared. Society ignored that. You have to learn it in a hard way. Anyway, let me spare you all this. Let me just tell you, go ahead and hit that subscription button. Make sure that you leave a like on this particular video. And by the way, I highly recommend that you leave me a comment on the comment section. Let's interact. Just like an iron sharpens another iron, so do we learn from each other. So today's video is none other than saying what? Money as you know it, is not real. What does that mean? Money is not real. So first of all, if you may ask a very simple question, and this is the video that I don't want you to watch with your heart. Just keep your heart aside. Approach this video with a brain, because it's a logical one. See, money is not real. So first, let's start defining by what is money. Okay, you will say it's a medium of transaction. Okay, true. Money is a medium of transaction. Transacting what? It's a medium. It's a thing that we use. It's kind of a representation that you give somebody for them to do you something. For example, let's say I'm selling this pen. So let's say I sell this pen at $1. So if I give you this pen and then you give me $1, in simple, I'm holding that $1 in the name of the value of that particular dollar is equivalent to that particular pen that I've given you. So if somebody comes with a pen and another one comes with a dollar, both of them are holding two things that are perceived to be of equal value. But one is holding a real thing, which is the pen. One has a representation of the value of the pen. You get what I'm saying? Now, that's why I'm saying money is not real, especially that money that we are using right now in 21st century. The money that we are using right now is called fiat. Fiat. If you didn't know this, back then, I think in around 1970, before 1970, 1975, during when we had the president called the Nixon in the US, money, this is how it used to happen. You go to a bank, are we together? You're given, or you give them your gold, then they give you the money. So you are going home with something that is real and tangible to prove that you have something. For example, if today I ask you, how can you prove that you have money in a bank? What do they give you? They just give you some digital numbers there, and then you check your balance and you be like, oh, I have 90 million, or I have whatever I have there. So you do not have something. So back then, when you go to a bank, you used to be given a gold and you go back, or used to be given that money. You go with a gold, you give it to a bank, then the bank gives you, let's say a gold costs, say, $1. So you give them your gold, then they give you what? Your $1. So there was that exchange of the money and the particular product. But they said, hey, you know what? That is raising the demand of a gold. So they were to say, hey, guess what? You'll be bringing that money in a bank, but you'll not be given anything. So you just get the money and you go. And then we all agree that $1, it is equivalent to $1 and can purchase something that is equivalent to $1. That's why you call it fiat. By royal fiat, we all agree. That's why if you take your money, go read somewhere it's written legal tender. There's something called legal tender. That legal tender means it's an agreement. Let's all agree this is 1,000 and it can do this and this and that. Let's all agree. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's where you can change from. For example, in Kenya, we've changed money in like several times. We changed from this color to this whatever to that, because it's all about the agreement. You cannot change gold. Gold will still remain to be a gold. That's why we say the money that we use, or money used to be there, was a commodity-backed money. But nowadays, it is not a commodity-backed money. Number two, when we say, or when I say money is not real, another thing that I mean is this, okay? I was just laying the foundation. This is the main point. When I say money is not real, I simply mean that when you have a lot of money, what do you think you have? When you have a lot of money, and by the way, what is a lot of money? Because the word a lot of money means different from you and me. So let's say a lot of money towards you. So what does a lot of money means? See, money, when I say it's not real, money is actually energy. That's another point. Money is energy. Okay? Let's say I'm walking in town and I feel thirst. I want to take, let's say, a bottle of soda, or maybe let's say I just want to grab a coffee. Let's say I want to buy a bottle of water, for example. See, what happens, you not having the money to buy the bottle of water, it simply means that you do not have the energy to actually purchase that particular bottle of water. But when you have the money to buy that, then it means you have the energy. But see, money is energy. It can never be created nor be destroyed, but can be transformed from one form to the other. That's why with that money, you can use it. You can make somebody do something for you. You can actually purchase something. You have that ability. You have that energy. So when you are wealthy, you accumulate. And I want you to get this point. See, when you are wealthy, when you have money, when you have a lot of money packed in a bank or investments or something, you have accumulated. Remember one thing, nowadays people trade what? Three things: skills, time, and energy to get money. Are we together up to that particular point? Now, when you have more of it, you have accumulated a lot of people's time and energy. So they can actually work. Let's say, for example, I make these videos and I have this YouTube channel. Let's say I employ somebody to be editing my videos, to return calls, let's say, from my clients. Guess what happens now? And of course, I tell them I'm going to be paying you. Now, when I accumulate a lot of energy by myself, by virtue of me having this YouTube channel, guess what happens now? I have accumulated more of his or her time and energy. So he or she will be trading his time and energy, and then I will be paying them. But he or she cannot do that if I have not accumulated most of the money. So when you have the money or wealth by yourself, you accumulate a lot of energy and time for other people to work for you. Are we together? So what people they will be doing, they will be trading their time and energy towards you, and then you exchange that with a representation. You exchange that with a bill or a note, depends on how you call it in your country. So when you give them that, it's approved. For example, let's say you employed somebody, let's say you employ a chef in your home. A chef has been cooking, let's say you pay them after every 1 month. Say a chef has been cooking in your house every time, making sure that your kitchen looks nice, you have a very delicious food, and then at the end of the month, let's say you agree, you'll be paying them 100,000. Are we together? Now, what does that mean? See, the chef has been, or you've accumulated, or the chef has actually traded their skills, the energy and time for a whole 30 days, and then that energy, skills and time, it's measure. How can you quantify that? Of course, I know you can sit down with a pen and paper and calculate how many hours and days and whatever. You can also, how can you even calculate the skills? How can you measure the energy? Probably you can measure in terms of kilojoules and water or calories or whatever. But the point is, the quantity to measure all that is actually translated to that salary that you pay that individual. And again, the amount of money that you be paid for whatever you do is dependent with your value. And what actually defines your value? Your value is defined not necessarily by time. Your value is defined by your ability to solve a problem and the quantity of a problem that you can solve, and how swift can you actually do that. Are we together? Now, when you have more value, when your energy and skill is actually way up there, of course, you get to have what we call a bigger perceived value. Therefore, the money that you'll be given, and remember, you're not being given a real thing. See, when that chef is paid that 100,000, it's a measure of what he or she has exchanged in that period of time. Now, when he has that 100,000, guess what? He has now accumulated someone's energy and time. So if he gets off your house and goes, say, somewhere, maybe let's say in a grocery store, he has actually the ability and the energy to buy something. Maybe let's say that chef, because he has been spending a lot of time in your home, he has also employed a house help in his house. And let's say he pays that house help 15,000. You see, now he has also, or she has also accumulated energy and time to trade, or someone's energy and time to trade with 15,000. So when you say money is not real, it is not real. It's not something that you can quantify. And I used a very simple example. This is a pen and this is $1. So if people, let's say this pen cost $1, we all know, let's say globally we all agree this pen cost $1 and we have another $1. So two people come here, one with a pen and one with $1. Arguably, both of them, they have two things that are equal in terms of the value. But one is real and the other one is not real. Because, for instance, if you are in a desert, trapped in a desert, you're given $1 billion and a bottle of water. Which one, obviously, is perceived to be valuable at that particular point? Of course. Now, the point is, money is not real as people tend to think. See, when you are going to work there, you actually want to accumulate. You see, and that's why when you become wealthy, that's why people say when you become wealthy, you can buy time. In real sense, you're not making more than 24 hours in a day, but there's a way you can leverage. I remember when I used to do the interior design jobs and what have you, I used to say, let's say I go to a home and the guy tells me, hey, you know what, Joseph, I would like you to paint for me this wall. And the wall is just a single wall. I was like, oh my goodness, okay, I'm going to charge this guy 2,000 to paint this wall. And he's just around. Why can't he just paint that particular wall and save those 2,000? You see, I didn't understand the concept of money because by virtue of him taking that time and energy to paint that wall in the name of saving 2,000 will actually cost that guy way much. Compare that time and energy could have been directed somewhere, that guy could have actually made more. Let's say the guy works online. He goes online, he meets 2 or 3 clients. A client, maybe they are paying him 10,000. That is 30,000. So he sacrifices getting 30,000 in the name of saving 2,000. And that's how some people do funny mathematics that they end up getting wrong results. So what happens when it comes to money? So then what would be the smartest way to perceive money? The smart way to perceive money is to understand it is not real and it can only make sense once you channel it in exchange of real things. That's why you find people who have invested in real estate. Actually, that's why it's called real estate. Let's say you have 10 million in a bank. If you have 10 million in a bank, it's just a digital numbers. You can't prove. It's just a digital. See, you give them your cash, and then they edit your numbers in a bank. They tell you, yeah, you're 10 million. Da, 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 da. So the only way you can actually have that money tangible, visible, is when you purchase something, is when you bring forth. Let's say when you buy a car. See, when you buy a car, and I'm not saying that you should all go buy a car. See, I'm just using as an example. When you buy a car, now that's a real thing. It's a real thing. Are we together? Or am I losing you on the way? When you purchase, let's say, a real estate, now that's a real thing that you are talking about. It's a thing that it's tangible, it's visible, and everyone can say, ah, wow, now that is a what? That's a thing. So the point is, money is not real, has never been real, well, before or rather after the 1970s there. But the point should be, once you understand the concept of money, that's why I always tell people, money is actually a tool. View it as a tool. As unreal as it is, view it as a tool to help you make more of it, accumulate more of it, and grow yourself. Do not view it as a product to be consumed, because if you have a consumer mentality, that is exactly how you're going to perceive that. And that is the end of my video. Go ahead and pick that number of mine if you'd like to have a services or conversation with me. My number is on the description of this particular video. See you there.